Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear darling. Shall we see what's going on our island of Fawnhollow today? Can't imagine anything particularly spectacular. I didn't see who our visitor was for today on the title screen. Didn't let it go for that much. I feel like I need to charge my phone. Oh, but I guess I'll be doing that later. It's kind of on 60%, but whatever. It's okay. It's not my old phone. It's not going to die within the next 2 minutes, so it can last a day or so on that sort of charge. Hello there everyone, right now in Fawnhollow it's 5:05 PM on Friday, November 13th, 2020. Really isn't news speaker today. Anyone see that documentary? No, I didn't actually. So what have I been up to today? Actually, I played a bit of TFT today, try and get some climbing on. I came 8th twice, so it didn't go so well. And, you know, surprisingly, unsurprisingly, now I've reached what is probably around my skill level. It's getting harder to continuously win and do particularly well, So I sort of played once, I went 8th and I was like, this game's terrible. I didn't go, this game's terrible. I was like, I should probably stop playing. Normally my rule is when I get a load of losses. Sorry, not when I get a load of losses. Even when I lose twice in a row, as in I get lower in 4th place. If you don't know, there's 8 people playing at once. So 8th is the lowest you can go. Or I get in 8th place, I'll stop playing for the day. Because I'm like, that's just, it's going to set me off on the wrong foot. Or it means that maybe I got unlucky, or maybe I just played badly. And then, then like an hour later, I was like, nah, I'm going to play some more. Because I was like, I just really want to play something. So I did. And then I got 3rd, and then I played again, and then I got 8th. And I was like, alright, you know, I'm going to stop for today. So it went okay. Not great. Could have been better, but that's alright. Apart from that, I've been doing a bit of drawing. Caesar's thinking about something. Who knows what he's thinking about? He could be thinking about anything. A whole wealth of things. What was I doing just immediately before this? I recorded some Opus Magnum. I might need to record some more. I've made up my mind. I'm leaving for a new island here. Did I shock you? I mean, I just decided here on the spot. I want to see how I do somewhere new. Sure. I'll be cheering you on, Caesar. You are an unexpected guest. I hope you enjoyed your time here. But, oh, it's crazy red. I didn't even look to see if it was red I visited today. But I'll gladly try and find someone else to fill your spot. Yeah, what was I doing? Oh, I need to get up the art. The wiki. New Horizons wiki art. Spelled it horribly wrong, but good thing you can't see how I'm typing it. Alright, what have we got? We've got the Wistful painting, which I'm pretty sure I've bought before. I'm like 95% certain I've got this one before. Oh, it's called Sinking Painting. Maybe we haven't. This one I've seen before. I think we've got the legitimate version of this one. The man in the far back is pointing upwards, when the genuine one he is touching a wall. Okay, so this is fake. This one is genuine. This one I'm pretty sure is also genuine. Oh no. The forged painting has a dark figure, where the genuine has a light figure. Okay, so we've got 2 genuine ones here. We're going to have a quick look at our museum just to double check if we got the sinking painting or not. Because obviously I don't want to get duplicates and all that. And at some point we should really move the museum up to the top of a cliff rather than where it is currently. Oh no, we should run up. We should be up here because we're looking for mushrooms, I forgot. Yeah, just beforehand, started recording. What was I doing? Oh, you know, I was reading their AMA. Ask Me Anything from the developer or the creator of Babbo's U, which is my favourite puzzle game of all time. It's a stupendous game. If you like puzzle games, absolutely play it. If you don't like puzzle games, maybe play it. I don't really know. That's more up to your discretion, I suppose. It's a fantastic game, and he's responded to a lot of comments, so I decided to post my own. Wait a minute. The apple trees have turned red. Oh my god. We're probably getting into autumn now with the leaves changing colour. Yeah, so he's on the beach. Oh, one of the peach trees. Interesting. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Probably over the next 2 days or so, we'll see everything properly turn autumnal. No, he was doing an AMA and Ask Me Anything, sorry. It was basically like people can post their own questions to him and he can answer or whatnot. And I posted my own question. I was like, firstly, I thanked him for creating my favourite puzzle game of all time. And then I asked him if there were any accidental mechanics that came up during... Oh, yes, see, we do have his painting. That came up during development that he eventually implemented into a puzzle. I don't know if he responds because I've arrived a bit late at the... Oh, we actually have quite a few paintings now. I arrived a bit late at the... Ask Me Anything, but it's always fun. Always fun to have MAs of things you're interested in. That's certainly something I'm interested in. Should I see if he's replied? That'd be amazing, because I posted it like 5 minutes ago, maybe. No, it's fine. I don't know. Ask Me Anything's only pretty cool. FAQs. I don't know. Well, I should say, I find them interesting from the outlook of the asker. I'm not sure if I were the one to be interviewed, if I'd find it as interesting. I'd be like, why would people want to know so much about my lame life? It's a weird thing, isn't it? Q&As, interviews. Maybe I'm just not a good interviewer. I don't know. I feel like you gotta be... I feel like the thing is, with these interviews and all these questions, people... Butterchurn, we really know how to make this GG. Come on. A lot of people always have... You need to have, like... You don't need to, but... You even need to be very charming, or you gotta have interesting stories to respond to with these interviews. Because, you know, people will be like, oh, what's the craziest thing you've done, or whatever. Or like, what's a fantastic story from blah, 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 blah. And then I'm just going to sit there. Like, if anyone asks me a question, I'm just going to sit there and I'm going to think for about half an hour, being like, what is the craziest thing I've ever done? I try to recall, because, I don't know, things like that are just, like, hard to recall. I think just out of, like, plucking it out of thin air. It's a thing with, recalling stored memory information is, like, listing all the books you read is pretty difficult, but if I gave you a list of 100 books and asked if you've read it, and asked each of them in turn if you read it or not, it'd be pretty easy. It's sort of like I don't remember what that phenomena or whatever it's called, but yeah, it's sort of like that, you know. I feel like, man, if someone's asked me this question, they actually genuinely want to know, I've got to give a good answer, and then I'd probably overthink it and then never give a good answer, and then, you know, that kind of defeats the point of the whole thing, doesn't it? I suppose we'll put these mushrooms away as we carry on clearing up our island. Ask Me Anything's always pretty cool. It's always interesting to read things from, like, obviously celebrities and listen to their interesting stories and whatnot. Yes, this thing. I don't have many interesting stories. I'm not much of a risk taker or like a spontaneous person. So it's like, what's the craziest thing that's happened to me? It's like, not much. I tend to be rather prepared for, or try to be rather prepared for situations or bad things when they could happen. And I don't tend to do much spontaneously, so I don't have many other exciting wild stories. But you know, on the flip side, sometimes it's interesting to even hear about these mundane things. I keep forgetting about these mushrooms here, I keep forgetting to pick them up. Things which are easy to answer is like, oh, what's your favourite Pokemon? Oh, you know, mine's Frostlass. Why? I don't know, I kind of like the spooky, mysterious lore thing behind her. I like ice types and I like ghost types. And fairy types too, unsurprisingly. But mostly ice and ghost type. So. But yeah, I suppose I would sort of overthink that sort of thing, wouldn't I? Even though I wouldn't need to. Most of the answers probably could be quite straightforward. People are just interested in seeing what your responses are. Although, I have seen, like, Ask Me Anything's AMAs even before, where people just sort of give, like, very meme-ish answers in response. Which, you know, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, of course. Especially if it suits your, like, I don't know, personality? Not necessarily personality, but, like, how you present yourself, or whatever. If you're a bit of a meme lord, shall we say. And of course you're going to give your fans or whatever, I'm going to expect you to be giving much more memey answers, but I feel like I'm a rather serious person, so it's not all too surprising I'd try and give sincere answers even to stupid questions. Not stupid questions, but you know, like, weird questions. Meme questions. I suppose that's just how I conduct myself, and thus, with some inner fear that I'm taking something which is meant to be light-hearted too seriously. But I don't know. I feel like from my perspective, I'm genuinely interested in these Ask Me Anythings or people I'm interested in or look up to or whatever, to see their genuine responses, right, to that sort of, to even mundane questions. Things like, I don't know who even I would participate in an AMA for. I mean, obviously the Bab Is You developer apparently is one. I mean, like Law and Faust to be a cool one. Tara Strong. Obviously a lot of people who work in cartoons, because a lot of what I've grown up with. Video game development stuff, that's always pretty cool. I don't know. I feel like these mundane questions can have even more interesting responses. But even if they have mundane responses, it's still intriguing if the person itself is interesting or something like that, right? To give you more insight into their life. But also, it's kind of weird at the same time, isn't it? Especially with, I suppose they're just being hypocritical here, because I'm doing YouTube stuff myself. It's a bit of a, hey, it's Schmoopy. Slay, slay. If I'm going to be like world famous pop star, I'm going to need to say something, but say something. Okay, so you don't want to say slay anymore. Let's change it. Why don't we change it to mood? Because that sounds pretty funny. Mood. So you think I should be saying mood? Yep. Mood, this is the best. You're so good at coming up with stuff, Schmoopy. Thank you, I try my best. Yeah, I think it's hypocritical myself, I suppose, because of the nature of, you know, recording these sort of things. It's things end up fostering us parasocially, you know. What it means like social relationships, but it's kind of one way, isn't it? Because it's sort of me talking at you rather than me responding to you. I mean, I guess it's kind of different, because I do try and respond to comments and all that sort of things, and if people ever ask me things on the Discord, I'll respond. But still, yeah, it's a weird sort of dichotomy, a weird dynamic. That's what I wanted. But I feel like VMAs, even with these mundane questions, are sort of just like trying to it further heightens the parasocialness of it, or does it not? Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it makes the social part more interactive because it's all about the ask and the response, right? Rather than the parasocial of just the response, I suppose, in the first place. But what was my point of this? I don't know, when it starts getting things start getting super personal, which I suppose you could just like not answer if it gets too personal. We already got KK Bizarre. It just becomes a weird dynamic, I think. But also interesting, because, you know, I'm trying to sort out my thoughts here, because I've not actually considered this before, and I think I'm being hypocritical. So my point was, I was like, oh, I still find it interesting for people I look up to find out mundane things, like what their favourite Pokemon or whatever might be. But then I'm thinking again that these are from parasocial relationships, right? This is not like my friends. It's not the same as me asking like my real life friends like what their favourite Pokemon is, because there's a dynamic there, there's a back and forth here, while here it's sort of mostly it's a one-way thing, and this is like the rare response in return, isn't it? I don't know. But it's still interesting none the same. I think maybe perhaps because I think, you know, why I think it's not as hypocritical as I'm making it out to be in my mind is probably because it sort of grounds things, again, back in reality. Apparently there's no flower here. Sorry, Vivian, you're sort of a little bit in the way. No, because there's a danger of elevating these parasocial relationships to much higher degrees than they're meant to be. Like putting someone on a pedestal, I suppose. If there's someone you watch or admire or look up to, right? So I'm going to take like Northern Nine. He's like my favourite YouTuber for example. You'd be like, oh, you start to see, you don't want to see someone like him as like far above you, I suppose. Like a like a deity. Like, that's kind of weird, isn't it? Like an avatar, like, obviously you can look up to them for whatever aspects they show you for, or they show to you, but still there's a lot of aspects hidden behind, aspects of people's personalities hidden behind, you know, the veneer of YouTube or whatever screen they put over, whatever public facing side of themselves they show. Which, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, or that sort of thing. And the thing with asking those mundane questions is, I suppose it brings it more back to reality, sort of like a reminder being like, oh yeah, it's just another human as well, aren't they? They're not just some random person, entertaining person in my screen or whatever. Over the internet, they're someone of their own likes and dislikes and that sort of thing too. And it sort of breaks that barrier down a little bit. Isn't that weird? How it can both, if you take things from one angle, it can heighten the sort of distance. But if you take things from another angle, it breaks it down even further. You know? I suppose it just depends on your perspective on that sort of thing, the attitude you come in with it. So, I've come around on myself. Well, not come around on myself. I mean, this was like my initial opinion, and then I went back on the opinion, and now I've going back on the opinion again. What was the point of this? I don't know. If there's an AMA, you're interested in an AMA, go ahead, knock yourself out, ask whatever random questions you want to whoever they are. Just don't be inappropriate, of course. That's always weird. I don't know. Another thing is I watch a lot of Critical Role, which is like a online, I don't know, internet show I suppose, of a load of voice actors and actresses playing D&D together, run by Matt Mercer. I haven't actually watched it for like the past month or two or so, I'm a little bit behind. No spoilers, please. No, but what's my point? Yeah, they often have like panels or things where the viewers can like send in questions, right, about the ongoings of the characters of a story or motivations, reasons behind that sort of thing. And I think that breaks, I don't know, because in this aspect it's not like a mundane question, right? It's not asking personally about the people themselves, about who they are as people or whatnot. It's asking more to do within the context of their work, I suppose. If you consider it work, I don't know if they consider it work. They probably don't. They probably are like, this is the best thing ever. So that's sort of, again, a different dynamic, isn't it? I know, there's a lot of weird minutiae, these sort of things, which most people don't think about, and even I don't really think about all that often. But does it really matter? Not really, I think, as long as it's all being respectful in the end. Does it matter? Not really. What was my point in all of this? I don't know. Perhaps my point was I overthink these sort of things far too much. And I'm reading into things which are just meant to be a light-hearted interaction with community and that sort of thing. I don't know. Because I feel like on the one hand, I'd be very boring in these sort of interviews or questioning things about me as a person, I suppose. So that's why I'd appeal more to the mundane sort of questions, like what your favourite Pokemon is or whatever. What food, what desserts do you like, I suppose. Because of me myself not being much of a person to create stories, shall we say. Not create stories, I mean like through my own experiences have stories, because I don't do risky things, I don't do spontaneous things, which is not necessarily really ingredients required for a story, but they do sure help but like result in a lot more stories doing things that way rather than waiting for an unplanned event to happen to you, resulting in a story. Which still happens sometimes, but far less often. But if it was like interview to do with like my work, like if I was like on Critical Role or had something similar, a project I'm working on, which I don't know, I don't really, I suppose, have one, I'd be like, oh, I think I'd have a lot to say, I'm a sort of person who likes to create up stories and worlds, universes in my mind, which is kind of why I want to play D&D at some point with my friends, but, the whole pandemic thing has put a bit of a stopper to that. And I could probably spend hours just answering questions about my universe and talking about characters and that sort of things, if they're my own creation. So it's more like, maybe I'm just the sort of person who doesn't like talking about myself, which, now I say that out loud, that's very obviously true. I don't tend to like talking about myself, but I do tend to like talking about things I make, maybe, or create, or things which appeal to me, which generally things of my own creation or imagination are things I do enjoy or have interest in. You know, this has been very therapeutic. Not therapeutic, but like enlightening talking about this. I feel like I understand myself a little bit better now. Am I going to use this information? No. Well, not absolutely not, but like, I have no idea how I'd use this information. It's not like I'm going to become a celebrity at any point in the future. Well, not that I'm aware of. If I do become a celebrity, the only thing I worry about is I hope it's not for a bad thing. That'd be probably the most frightening thing possible. Can you imagine, like, waking up and you just, like, go onto whatever social media site you frequent or news site or whatever, and you see yourself as the topic of, like, the top news article or post? I think my heart would stop. I'd be like, what did I do? Until I think about it, there's not really much I probably would do that would be a bad thing. Like, I can't imagine what I would need to have done. Maybe I said something and someone misconstrued it as ignorance or something. I mean, that's always feasible, I suppose. I don't know why that would get, like, top headline news. There's some weird alternate reality I'm living in now. I don't like it, so I'm going to exit it. But yeah, I think that's probably not too surprising. I feel like a lot of people who create things, like stories and that sort of thing, characters and whatnot. What on earth have I done? There we go. I'm invested in them, right? Unsurprisingly, because they created them with a lot of love and effort and whatever into them. So of course they'd be able to sustain like an AMA or something like that for ages, just through sheer willpower of their own enthusiasm towards what they've done. So I guess it always surprises me when I see AMAs, like on Reddit especially, of people who just like answer like 2 questions or whatever and then peace out. Like, I feel like if I was to do it, I would literally try and answer every question. Which is probably, if you hear that, you're probably like, that's not too surprising, dear, seeing as you respond to every single comment, almost, on every video. That's true. I'm sorry if I don't respond to every comment, I don't. Because it's sort of like a weird mental battle. I'm like, okay, obviously I want to respond at least once, because, you know, I want to carry on the conversation or support, or like, give my thanks or whatever, or I've got a witty reply. But then, if I respond again, I'm like, oh, do I respond again? Or is that weird? So most of the time I'm like, I've sort of like artificially limited myself to being like, one response is what I should do, otherwise I will spend back and forth. I'll have back and forth conversations spanning multiple days, which is not really suitable for YouTube comments. That's more of I don't know, like a Discord messaging thing, isn't it? Anyway, what was my point for all of this? I don't really know. I sort of like went on a conversational meander, where even I don't know where I've ended up. What have I done? I don't know. You know what's amusing is there's always some like very interesting, amusing AMAs that pop up on Reddit from time to time. Like the time that Woody Harrelson, or whatever, he did an AMA. Now the premise of AMAs, Ask Me Anything, is that they can ask you any questions related to or not related to whatever might be going on with you at the time. So yeah. And then I don't even know what movie it was, but he had like a movie that he starred in or wrote or something, directed maybe, that was coming out. And a load of people came in with like questions about like very, not scandalous, but like very disruptive things he's done. Perhaps when he was younger, like he crashed a wedding party or something, or was maybe rude to someone, I don't know. I can't really remember. And then he just responded with like an iconic line, can we get back to talking about the movie or whatever it was? It's like, you kind of, someone didn't inform me very well that this was an Ask Me Anything, was it? It's the whole premise of it. It's like everything uncovered, no holds barred. I was just trying to think if that was the right phrase. Yeah, that is. You're meant to be not an open book per se, but like, you know, you've got to give a response to things which aren't exactly outside of wheelhouse. What probably happened is someone on the marketing team was like, oh, why don't we do a Reddit AMA? And he was like, Reddit AMA, I don't know what that is, but sure, let's do it. If it'll get us publicity for this new movie which we're trying to promote. And then the media the PR person did fail to inform him that this was not specifically just about whatever his current project is at the time, and it's more about a general overview of general free form question asking session, I suppose. What a very inelegant way to phrase that question. No question. Sentence. We've actually cleared out so many flowers now. We don't have many left. This is like the last batch, isn't it? And then we can finally get to work on shifting around some of the buildings. I think the next thing we should probably do is probably shift our museum. You know, why don't we do that in the last like 5 minutes? Figure out where we want our museum to go. I know where I wanted to go. I wanted to go near the back, behind us, these golden roses. The sad thing being that golden roses are 2 wide rather than 3 wide. Oh, maybe we could. But I made them this wide because that's just how it be. But we could put it here, we could put it here. I've got 3 doors here, so maybe I just put the 3 thing here. 1, 2, 3. I think it's 7 wide for the museum, so it'll go up to here. So it doesn't quite block off red, which is a good thing if I put it here. I think I'm okay with that. Even though technically, if you're on this golden... Oh wait, that's not the center. The center's over here. Oops. The center's over here. So these 2 are the center. I think if we look at the map, it'll probably confirm that for us. Yeah, kind of. So we could put the museum right here. It's a bit sad, isn't it? But the museum door is 3 wide rather than 2 wide, because if you're looking here, you'll be like, it's off center. Maybe I'll give up some more thought rather than hopping to it right now. Yeah, I don't know. What other interesting AMAs are there? No, Bill Gates has done a few. Barack Obama did one. That was pretty cool. Do we need to customize the shovel again? Maybe. Or maybe not. Wait. I think we can do once more without it breaking. Or is it 60 uses the shovel has? Okay, let's customize it just to be safe. If you don't know, customize refreshes the durability of the tools. No, I don't know. There's some interesting Ask Me Anythings. But there's also some very amusing comedic ones. One of my favourite comedic ones I've ever seen was someone did Ask Me Anything about pretending to be a time traveller from the future. So that they said that they would answer the questions before the questions were even asked. So they just posted like 100 random answers being like, oh, surprisingly, frogs. Or something like that. Or like, yes or no way. I was like, you know, I didn't plan for things to go this way. But that's just how it is. And then people responded with questions. It was one of the most creative uses of that Ask Me Anything medium I've seen. And it was utterly hilarious. And since then, a lot of people have mimicked that sort of idea, which is fair enough. Not everything is original in this world, or in any world. But there's something special about the first time, right? I don't know why you're sitting directly behind Fuchsia's home, Pashmina, but I suppose if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do, you know? Who am I to stop you? Apparently I've stopped you just by digging these flowers. Okay, we've only got like 30 seconds left until we reach 30 minutes, so I'll go sell these flowers and we'll round up this episode here. I don't know. Oh, what do you think about Raymond? You know, I don't think this oilskin coat fits my style anymore. What do you think? It's your style. But I think I'm gonna... You know what? You're right. But I think I'm gonna give it away anyway. Still not getting a hint? I'm giving it to you, dear. What is this? oil skin? Looks like a raincoat to me. Unfortunately, Raymond is going straight into Timmy and Tommy's pockets. But yeah, I don't know. What was my point? I don't know what my point was. Did I have a point? Probably not. Ask me anything's double-edged sword. Mostly cool though. Depends on the person. Depends on the askers as well. But yeah, I think I've basically exhausted that topic. I don't know how I talked about half an hour about the most inane stuff every single day. It's bewildering. But if you have been watching, thank you very much. This has been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Any likes, comments and subscriptions are greatly appreciated. And if you want, join the Dear Darling Discord down in the description below. Follow me on Twitter as well. I hope we can see each other again. But for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye-bye for now.